I was dragged into a VR chat family thing. To me, it's just weird to call I'm turning 25 next month. I don't want to call a 45-year-old my son. That is a whack, right? It's ridiculous, but I mean, people want to do it. I was at TwitchCon 2019 at the VR chat meetup, and literally I saw 18-year-olds running up to 45-year-olds saying, "Oh, look, it's my child." And I'm like, I'm out.
There was a girl who used to call me her VR mom. She'd always call me like secret agent mom. Secret agent mom. She was super precious. I loved having her around, and everyone else did too as well. So, naturally when she met a boy, I got super protective. And she's like, "Oh yeah, no, don't worry, this is just my mom." And it kind of evolved from there.
The concept of VR families is, I don't want to say weird or cringe, because there's a very good intention to it, to try to have that closeness with people and kind of fill up that vacancy for a need of family. It's just that when it comes to the dynamic of younger people and older people, are just the gray area and the potential for things to go bad. Like a kid, I guess, having someone like who weighs way older kind of be like their like VR father. I mean, I could see that as wholesome. I'm just scared for the kid, because I feel like depending on who the adult is, like the kid could definitely be falling into some sort of like weird game or trap in all of this and doesn't really know, which is why I find that concept a little bit more dangerous. So in terms of that, like kind of like that dynamic, it looks really iffy. Honestly, I don't think that's really that good. Although if like it's not even if, because then there's so much gray area. It's just very iffy. It's an idea. In theory, it's wholesome, because one kid without a father gets a role model, and it's great, right? And that's, in theory, it's wholesome. But in practice, so much potential to it to go bad or fall into some sort of ploy that is manipulative or just creepy in general is very possible.
It's kind of a bit strange, but I can see why people do it. Sometimes on the other occasions, you went through something like really hard with somebody. Like, for example, I game like my VRC dad here, which sounds really strange to say, but like dealing with the whole like toxic relationship that we had to help through together for like months on end, which was like my first couple months in VRC overall. We like gained a really tight bond over that. And at that point, it just became like a father-son kind of relationship. And then it just kind of went off from there. And that kind of spreads off to other people as well.
I don't know. I think it's just a weird form of having friends. Like,
hang on, I need another drink after that.
I think it's just like a different form of friendship. Like, brotherly love with friends. I feel like it's just a weirder, more degenerative form of that. It's not for me. It's like not parasocial, but it's like just a different type of friend group, But yeah, like not having a father or just having a shitty brother, I can totally understand, like, just trying to get it through a different medium,
I've seen a girl walk around and be like, "Yes, I'm the mother of all," and she had like 10,000 friended people that would just come to her. Like, we were just sitting randomly in the world. I'm just talking to her casually, and all of a sudden this guy comes and is like, "Mommy, mommy." I was like, "What do you mean, mommy?"
Only a small percentage of people who watch my videos are actually subscribed. So if you end up liking this video, consider subscribing.
Like, there's Facebook groups about it too, and I'm on a couple of Facebook groups where a lot of people are talking about it, and I remember it being like a new idea to most of us about a year ago, but now it's like common speech on these groups that these people, sometimes they're even the same age, one will be a dad and the other will be a kid. Like, they're serious about it, and they'll go on and they'll even advertise on Facebook groups, "We're a dad and a mom looking to get a child who wants to be the child." But I think that says as much about society as it does VRChat.
I was friends with some. Well, hang on. I was friends with someone, and they started dating somebody. Within a month, they were married on VR chat, and they started a whole family. A month, and they were already married in VR chat, and they take it so seriously. It's ridiculous. Like, if you're getting married in VR chat, you are taking this whole thing so serious and whatever, right? I've only been VR married once, and that was to a girl I dated for 2 years. We were dating for 2 years, then we were like, you know what? Why not just get VR married? Even though it's not, and we both know it's not a real thing. It does not legally bind you to anything because it's on a virtual platform. But you know what? People take it so seriously. If you type in divorce, there are literally worlds for getting divorced in VR chat. And that's where the emotional void comes in that Shepard said. They want to fill a hole. Well, guess what? They filled the hole all right, but guess what? Once you get done with the whole drama, your entire friendship and bond that you had with the other people are completely ruined.
I mean, honestly, I don't view it, as different at all. Because when you hop in here, think about the things that you experience when the headset is off. All of your other senses come back and everything, and all of those senses were associated with you having a mother or a father raising you at some point. So in this game, it's like a different world or a different reality where they definitely don't exist, but you still feel like you belong there with these people with that tribal mirror like mentality. And I'm telling you, man, the whole mom concept or dad concept is very real. I mean, they develop friendships outside the game, and yeah, it's a joke, but at the same time, I don't really think it's a total joke. You get my point? Like, I think at some human level, they're really not joking. I think at some human level, they're really like my mom was an asshole and you're actually out to protect me. You know, it's just that kind of mentality that ends up developing in people who sit and stare at mirrors with 12, 13, 14 other people.
It's like a two-sided effect. It's either people that are lacking this sort of either parental or family figure, because there's no real other way to look at it. I mean, it's VR chat. Like, nobody will know who you are. Because I strongly believe that everything has a logical reasoning behind it, whether it's emotionally driven or by actual logic. The logical emotional part, which is people are just lacking this kind of parental figures. No, I don't need that. I have a good, healthy family. God bless.
Come on, I'm a paranoid schizophrenic, so there'll be times when I do go mute, not by choice. So there'll be times when I'd be using text-to-speech, and there was a time when I was text-to-speech for a month, and there were a lot of people that found me the most cutest on the planet, and I got claimed by so many people to be their child. I literally just gave up and just fully accepted.
When it comes to that, one of the biggest things is, like I said, people won't have that come onto VR chat really don't have the best mental strength, and so they will associate anything with any kind of relationship that they can get. If they get shown affection, they're immediately going to bond to it, and depending on the kind of love or the kind of attention you give, it's based off of like that father figure or that mother figure or that brother or sister figure, which is okay. Hang on, I'm going to stand up because I've been sitting down for a while now, which is all right and everything. But the biggest thing that people don't realize is that you could be, one, throwing a lot of things onto the other person that they don't want to deal with, or two, you're just doing this to do it. And the whole family thing is, which tells me, and I don't do psychology, is that one, you never had a proper childhood growing up, which could be an understanding, or two, you are very needy of attention, so you're going to find people that are really close to you, or those that want to do stuff like this and be like, hey, yo, you want to be my VR chat father? Hey, do you want to be my VR chat sister?
So you add all these homey aspects, right, in a game that's very a homely kind of feel. People like cozy places, and when you add into that the fact that someone is like looking out for them or protecting them, then yeah, the whole concept of a mom or a dad, it just develops. There's a saying that neurons that fire together, wire together. And I'm telling you, if you have someone looking out for you and you're in a virtual world where everything you see and everything you hear is very comfortable and reminds you of home, but this person's doing a much better job at being some kind of mom figure than yours ever was. Yeah, and then, usually we laugh it off. I've only ever had it happen once, but I've seen people walk around that way. Obviously, they don't really think, oh, you're my mom, but, they're like my mom, and it's just a mentality thing, man. I think it's in human nature to want to nurture people that we feel like maybe need nurturing. Things that happen in the real world are gonna get twisted up, and people are gonna say and do things, which I'm not saying that's wrong. I'm not saying it's wrong in any way. I'm just saying people are gonna say and end up do things different from real world and all that.
It was I think 2020-ish. I was running around back then as a gecko, like this tiny little gecko, and this guy just runs up to me and basically just forcibly adopts me. And for some reason, the VR parents, quote unquote, were getting a divorce, and I somehow ended up as the guy adjudicating it.
Yeah, that's also another
So what
thing.
kind of experience you went there?
VR chat families are drama filled. It's bad. It's if you want to keep your mental sanity, do not join a VR chat family. Yes, they could be really strong bonds, but
Exactly.
it's people that rush the things like, oh, I'm going to start dating somebody, and then in a month later I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to get married to him on VR chat, and then a month later you're divorced and you broke up with him.
And now you're lonely again, and you have
It's-
nobody to love you.
Congratulations. Get skill Ripozo. It's really a big debacle, but I mean, it's how you take it. If you think that the bonds are strong and both of you think that the bonds are real, then they're real. But if you both just use them to use them, then I mean, that's that. I mean, I get
Well,
used
actually,
all the
you
time
can-
in VR chat relationships for avatars, for maps, you know, and because I've been around, they want that status of, oh, I dated a veteran, or oh, I was with a guy that's been around when VR chat first started. They can get that clout and they can use it to brag, and they don't realize that they're hurting me in the end of it because they didn't take it seriously, but I did.
Yeah, there's plenty of people that are going to say it's unhealthy. You know what? I'm going to be honest. I feel like it could be healthy one day if the VR technology progresses to a point where that's all people end up doing anyway. Then I definitely imagine, it's one of those things where like you go to a country, well, I hope they have good healthcare. It's like putting on the headset and kind of a similar way and being like, well, I hope there's good health care. It's like saying, I hope there's good caring people, courteous and giving and compassionate and patient with one another.
This is something VRChat told me, but always know that there is more people and personalities and lifestyles and ways of living out there in the world. There is so much to explore. There is so much to see, so much to do. And I think we usually get caught up in our own little bubble of what we live in, and for example like small towns or cities even, and we just don't see the bigger picture of just everything we can do. Taking a bus to a random place, just any place in the world, any people, you can find it. Whatever you think that doesn't exist, it exists, and just know that it does. And there is so much more to life than what you think it is, and you have to go out there and find it. Thank you. I'm glad I ran into you too. I love interview stuff like this. It's great. I'm gonna take a wild guess, but are you the guy from Humans of VR? I recognize the voice. I love your channel, dude. It's, oh my gosh. I remember like back when I was living in Mexico, I'd love to just see like all these interviews, like how you do and the different perspectives of what people think about certain subjects. And I just find that so awesome. Yeah, pleasure to meet you too, man. Honestly, it's an honor. I love the stuff you do. I'd say keep on doing it and just don't stop. It's great. The world evolves and you always find something to talk about. All right, quick plug. What's it called? Follow my YouTube channel, Buckaroo Stew. I just posted as to today, I believe January 6th, 2023, like yesterday, posted a music video. Go follow Buckaroo Stew. And that's all I got. Love yourself.
My thing that I will always say, and I will say it to everybody, is if you have problems, go and get professional help, but don't bring it into a social platform where literally you can deal with drama, you can deal with a lot of really bad things, you can deal with whatever. There are people on here that will take things to the extreme, but know that your friends are there to be your friends, not to, be your emotional punching bag. We're all humans behind the headset. The headset is just a piece of plastic and metal and wires. That's it. Behind that, we are human beings.
Kindness is contagious. When you are kind, you inspire others. Be the spark. Spreading kindness merchandise available now.